So I had a couple of possible doppelganger-like encounters, both in approximately the same time frame, the same year. Um, and let me just get into the stories real quick. I was working at a job where I was working for a department store, and I was at the front just guarding the door, kind of like a loss prevention security type thing. And that was literally all I did. I wasn't supposed to go anywhere or move at all. Um, one day, I saw a man walk into the store, and he picked up a basket and he started just walking around in circles. He started looking for something just in the immediate vicinity of where I was at by the door. And he then proceeded to put down the basket and he left the store. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Happened before. Not a big deal at all. I remember exactly what this person looked like and what he was wearing. He's kind of a unique looking young man, probably mid 20s, with probably Latino, short, stocky, black hair. After he left the store, probably not even 5 minutes went by, and then I see at the check stand. So where I was located, the check stands were right in front of me, so I could see all of that. And the only exit and entrance into the store, discounting emergency exits. So he approaches the cashier, and this was the same person. He looked exactly identical as the one that came into the store a few minutes earlier, walking around in circles, except he was wearing slightly different clothing, and his appearance looked kind of had really a lot of black and blue under his eyes, and he kind of looked like he might have been stoned or on drugs or something. But he looked exactly identical, so I thought it was his identical twin. Because who else could it have been? The only way the previous man could have gotten back into the store was through an emergency exit. So as he approached the door, I actually asked him if he has a twin brother, an identical twin brother. And he said he did, but he lives in Texas. So, I don't know. He lives in Texas. Maybe his brother was somehow secretly in the area here too in California. I don't know. The other one encounter was literally like just a few miles away from there at a 7-Eleven location. A 7-Eleven that I don't frequent often. I haven't been in this particular 7-Eleven in months. And I go inside the store, and the cashier asks me if I was okay and if I got out of the hospital. And I look at her and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And she's like, remember when we called the ambulance on you yesterday and they took you to the hospital? I thought you were going to die on me. And I'm like, I told her I haven't been at the 7-Eleven location in months. And she looked at me like I was nuts. And I'm like, no, I haven't been here in a long time. It couldn't have been me, and I was not in the hospital recently. She's like, it looked exactly like me. Anyway, I'm sure you guys heard the story of the 3-year-old boy that got lost in the forest, and he was picked up by someone that looked exactly like his grandma, and that his supposed grandma took him inside a cave. And in this cave, she said she saw a bunch of what the little boy claimed to be robot humans. Those are his words. And that he also noticed that his grandma was a robot grandma. So he said that they were motionless and just standing in place in this cave. And this was located in Mount Shasta. And so his robot grandma or whatever asked them to poop on a piece of paper. presumably to get his genes, and then she proceeded to tell him that she's from outer space. Interesting. You can look into that story. It's on Missing 401, and on many YouTube channels they talk about that encounter. He was found, obviously, eventually by his real grandmother, and then the story gets even weirder from there on, but I'm not going to get into it. Um, Interesting. If they are making lots of doppelgangers and twins and clones of us, certainly a possibility to look into. Why not have a copy in case of a depopulation, whether it's deliberate or accidental? They'll have copies of their little slave minions, right? Anyway, that's all. Goodbye.